Hey there, everyone, Mabel Pines here, and wow, do I have so much to say about my amazing summer in Gravity Falls. Let me tell you, when my parents first told Dipper and me that we'd be spending the summer with our great Uncle Stan in some weird Oregon town, I had no idea what we were in for. I thought maybe we'd be bored out of our minds, but instead, best summer ever. First off, can we talk about how Gravity Falls is literally the most mysterious place on Earth? I mean, where else can you find gnomes, dinosaurs, shapeshifters, and a triangle demon all in one place? Okay, maybe don't answer that. But seriously, every single day was like living in the most exciting adventure book ever written, except I got to be the main character alongside my bro. The Mystery Shack is honestly the coolest place I've ever lived. Sure, it's kind of rundown and Grunkle Stan fills it with fake attractions to trick tourists, but there's something super charming about it. Plus, where else would I get to work in a gift shop and meet people from all over the country? I made so many friendship bracelets that summer, I lost count. Each one represents a special memory or new friend I made. Speaking of Grunkle Stan, I have to say that despite his grumpy exterior and his obsession with money, he really does care about us. It took a while to see past all the scams and the tough guy act, but underneath all that, he's actually really sweet. The way he protected us from all the supernatural dangers in town, even when we didn't know it, that's love, people. Plus, his jokes are actually pretty funny, even if Dipper won't admit it. My relationship with Dipper is probably the most important thing to me. Yeah, we're twins, but we're also best friends. We balance each other out perfectly. He's all about logic and mystery solving with his journals and magnifying glasses, and I'm more about following my heart and making sure we have fun along the way. Sometimes he gets too serious, and I have to remind him to enjoy the moment. And sometimes I get a little too caught up in boy craziness or craft projects, and he pulls me back to reality. Oh my gosh, let's talk about boys for a second. My summer crushes were, well, let's just say I learned a lot about love. There was the whole thing with the boys at the Gravity Falls pool, and then various other crushes throughout the summer. I'll admit, I maybe went a little overboard sometimes. Okay, a lot overboard. But that's just because I have so much love to give. I learned that it's okay to be enthusiastic about romance, but I also learned that I don't need a boyfriend to be complete. My friends and family are what really matter. Waddles. I have to talk about Waddles. Winning him at the Mystery Fair was one of the best moments of my entire life. He's not just a pet pig, he's my best animal friend and a legitimate member of the Pines family. Sure, Dipper was initially frustrated that I chose Waddles over helping him impress Wendy, but he came around. Waddles has been there through thick and thin, and he's the most adorable, sweet, perfect pig in the entire universe. Fight me on this. Actually, don't fight me. Let's be friends instead. The friends I made in Gravity Falls changed my life. Candy and Brenda became my absolute besties. We had the most amazing sleepovers, went on wild adventures, and supported each other through everything. Candy is so smart and sweet, and Brenda is fierce and confident in a way I totally admire. Together, we were unstoppable. We even fought off supernatural threats and survived high school parties that were way more intense than anything we'd experienced before. Can we discuss my sweater collection? Because it's amazing. I have a different sweater for literally every occasion and every emotion. Kittens, rainbows, shooting stars, pizza, dinosaurs, you name it. I probably have a sweater for it. Fashion is a way of expressing yourself, and my sweaters express that I'm fun, creative, and not afraid to be myself. Sure, some people might think they're silly or childish, but those people are wrong. My sweaters are art. The supernatural elements of Gravity Falls were absolutely wild. When we first encountered gnomes, I thought I was going to marry their king, which would have been a huge mistake. I mean, they literally formed into a giant gnome monster and chased us to the forest. That was intense. But it was also the first real adventure Dipper and I had together, and it set the tone for the whole summer. We learned that we had to trust each other and work together to survive. Time travel, alternate dimensions, secret societies, Gravity Falls had everything. The whole mystery with the journals and trying to figure out who wrote them kept us busy all summer. Dipper was obsessed with solving every mystery, and while I was more interested in the day-to-day fun, I have to admit that uncovering the secrets of our town was pretty thrilling. Plus, it turned out the author was someone we knew all along, which was mind-blowing. Suze is genuinely one of the best people I've ever met. He's like the big brother we never knew we needed. His childlike enthusiasm for life and his loyalty to our family is incredible. Whether he was helping us fight monsters, joining in on our adventures, or just being there to hang out and watch movies, Suze made everything better. Plus, his handyman skills came in super handy when we needed to build something or fix things around the shack. Wendy Corduroy is so cool. I know Dipper had a massive crush on her, which was kind of obvious to everyone except maybe Wendy herself for a while, but I also looked up to her as this awesome, laid-back teenager who knew how to handle anything. She was always nice to me, even when I was being kind of annoying with my hyperactive energy. Her whole family is wild too, literally. They're super outdoorsy and tough. But Wendy herself is the perfect mix of cool and caring. The whole Gideon situation was complicated. At first, I thought he was kind of cute with his white hair and his little suit. But then he became super obsessed with me in a really unhealthy way, and it got scary. He tried to manipulate me, threaten my family, and even tried to take over the mystery shack. That taught me an important lesson about recognizing when someone's affection crosses the line into something dangerous. Not all attention is good attention, and it's okay to say no and set boundaries. One of the hardest things I went through was thinking about the end of summer. The idea that Dipper and I would have to go back to California and leave behind all our friends and adventures was really tough. There was even that moment when Dipper was considering staying in Gravity Falls to study with Ford, and I felt so betrayed and scared that we'd be separated. We'd always been together, and the thought of being apart was terrifying. But we worked through it and realized that our bond is stronger than any distance or opportunity. Bill Cipher was absolutely terrifying. I mean, a triangle demon with reality warping powers who wanted to destroy our dimension? That's nightmare fuel. But we faced him together as a family, and that's what mattered. The final battle, Weird Midget, was the scariest thing I've ever been through. Our town was literally turned into an apocalyptic wasteland, and people were transformed into stone and living in terror. But we didn't give up. We fought back with everything we had. The relationship between Grunkle Stan and Ford was so complicated and sad. Learning that Stan had a secret twin brother who he'd been trying to save for 30 years was shocking. And then seeing how much pain and resentment was between them because of their past was heartbreaking. But in the end, they reconciled. And that made me believe that even the worst family rifts can be healed with love and forgiveness. Family is everything, even when it's messy and complicated. Creativity has always been my superpower. Whether it's making sweaters, crafting the ultimate scrapbook, bedazzling literally everything I own, or coming up with wild ideas for fun activities, I love making things. Art isn't just about being good at something. It's about expressing yourself and making the world more colorful and fun. My scrapbooks from that summer are filled with memories, photos, stickers, and glitter that capture every amazing moment we experienced. The pine tree and shooting star symbol that represented me and Dipper became really important. I'm the shooting star because I'm bright, energetic, and always reaching for something exciting. Dipper is the pine tree because he's steady, grounded, and always growing in his knowledge and understanding. Together, we're the perfect team. We complement each other in ways that make us both stronger. I learned so much about bravery that summer. Being brave isn't about not being scared. It's about doing what needs to be done even when you are scared. Whether it was facing down supernatural monsters, standing up to bullies, or having difficult conversations with the people I love, I found courage I didn't know I had. And a lot of that courage came from knowing that my family had my back. The apocalypse, Weird Midget, tested everything I thought I knew about myself. When Bill Cipher took over and the world went crazy, I had to step up in ways I never imagined. I helped rescue people, fought monsters, and stayed strong even when everything seemed hopeless. Dipper and I had to use everything we learned that summer to survive and ultimately save everyone. It was the ultimate adventure, and I'm proud of how we handled it. Grunkle Stan's memory erasure was one of the most painful moments of my life. Watching him sacrifice his memories to defeat Bill, essentially sacrificing himself, was devastating. He forgot everything about us, about the summer, about who he really was. But then we helped him remember. We showed him his scrapbook, told him stories, and slowly but surely, he came back to us. It proved that love and family can overcome anything, even memory erasing magic. The theme of growing up is everywhere that summer. I started the summer as a carefree kid who just wanted to have fun, and I ended it understanding that life is complicated, that people aren't always what they seem, and that sometimes you have to make hard choices. But I also learned that growing up doesn't mean losing your sense of wonder or your ability to find joy in simple things. I can be mature and still love glitter and boy bands and silly sweaters. Friendship bracelets might seem like a small thing, but to me, they represent connection. Every time I made one for someone, I was saying you matter to me. I care about you. I want to remember this moment we shared. I probably made hundreds that summer, and each one was special. Some people might see them as just colorful string, but I see them as tiny declarations of love and friendship. The Mystery Shack gift shop was actually a great place to people watch and learn about the world. Tourists from all over came through, each with their own stories and personalities. I chatted with so many people while selling overpriced merchandise and fake supernatural artifacts. Some were skeptical, some were believers, some were just looking for a fun roadside attraction. But they all added to the tapestry of my summer experience. Music is super important to me. I love pop music, boy bands, and anything with a catchy beat. Some people, okay, Dipper, think my music taste is annoying. But I don't care. Music makes everything better. Whether I'm having a dance party, trying to cheer someone up, or just expressing my feelings, there's always a perfect song for the moment. Life needs a soundtrack, and I'm here to provide it. The contrast between Dipper and me is something I've come to really appreciate. He's careful and analytical, always reading and researching and planning. I'm spontaneous and emotional, jumping into things with my heart leading the way. Neither approach is better. They're just different. And when we combine our strengths, we can accomplish anything. He brings the strategy, I bring the enthusiasm, and together we're unstoppable. One thing I'm really proud of is my emotional intelligence. I'm good at reading people's feelings and understanding what they need. Sometimes people dismiss this as just being emotional or sensitive, but it's actually a real skill. Being able to empathize with others, to make people feel heard and valued, to create connections. That's powerful. It's helped me make friends, resolve conflicts, and navigate complicated social situations. The supernatural creatures we encountered ranged from hilarious to terrifying. Minotaurs, unicorns, ghosts, merpeople, leprechauns, Gravity Falls had them all. Each encounter taught us something new about the world and about ourselves. The unicorns, for instance, taught me that just because something looks magical and pure doesn't mean it actually is. Those unicorns were jerks, beautiful, sparkly jerks who made me question my own worth. But I learned that I define my own purity and goodness, not some snooty magical horses. My optimism is sometimes seen as naivety, but I disagree. I know the world can be dark and scary and unfair. I've seen it firsthand. But I choose to focus on the good, to believe in people, and to spread joy wherever I can. That's not ignorance, that's a conscious choice to make the world better. Every smile I bring to someone's face, every bit of silliness I inject into a serious situation, is my way of fighting back against the darkness. The summer of 2012 changed me forever. I went to Gravity Falls thinking I'd just have a normal summer vacation, and instead, I discovered a world of magic, mystery, and adventure. I made lifelong friends, strengthened my bond with my brother, learned about family secrets going back decades, and helped save the universe from an interdimensional demon. Not bad for 3 months, right? Looking back, every moment was precious. Even the scary parts, even the times when I made mistakes or got my heart broken, they all mattered. They all shaped me into who I am. And who I am is someone who loves deeply, laughs loudly, creates constantly, and believes in the power of kindness and friendship. I'm Mabel Bynes, and I'm proud of that. The journal entries Dipper made throughout the summer documented so many incredible things. Reading through them is like reliving every adventure. My scrapbooks do the same thing but with more glitter and stickers and photos. Together, our records tell the complete story of that amazing summer. His from a scientific, mystery-solving perspective, and mine from a personal, emotional perspective. Both are valid and important. I think about the future sometimes and wonder what's next for all of us. Will Dipper and I have more adventures? Will we return to Gravity Falls? What will happen with Stan and Ford as they sail around the world? Will Suze be okay running the Mystery Shack? Will Wendy follow her dreams? I don't have all the answers, but I know that whatever happens, we'll face it together, because that's what family does. My relationship with fashion goes beyond just sweaters. I love experimenting with colors, patterns, and accessories. My aqua green headband and yellow star earrings aren't just random choices, they represent my personality. I like bright, cheerful colors that stand out. I like stars because they're beautiful and hopeful and remind us to dream big. Every outfit is a chance to express yourself, and I take that opportunity seriously, while still having fun with it. The concept of home changed for me that summer. California is where my parents are, where school is, where my normal life exists. But Gravity Falls became home too. The Mystery Shack, with its creaky floors and weird attractions and quirky inhabitants, became a place where I felt truly myself. Home isn't just a location, it's where you feel loved, accepted, and free to be who you really are. Grappling hooks are awesome. Okay, that might seem random, but seriously, Dipper's grappling hook, which I may have acquired at some point, came in handy so many times. Whether we were escaping from danger, reaching high places, or just having fun, that thing was incredibly useful. It's a reminder that sometimes the simplest tools can be the most effective, and also that adventure gear is important. The importance of staying true to yourself was a lesson that came up again and again. Whether it was peer pressure, romantic pressure, or just the general pressure to be normal, I faced lots of situations where I could have changed who I was to fit in. But I didn't. I stayed Mabel. I kept my enthusiasm, my creativity, my emotional openness, and my love of all things sparkly and fun. And you know what? The people who really mattered loved me for exactly who I am. Sleepovers with Candy and Brenda were legendary. We had so much fun, whether we were just hanging out and talking about our crushes, playing games, or getting caught up in some supernatural adventure. Those nights taught me about female friendship and how important it is to have friends who support you, laugh with you, and stand by you no matter what. We were the ultimate girl squad. The finale of our summer was bittersweet. We'd saved the world, our family was reunited and healed, and we'd grown so much. But we also had to say goodbye to Gravity Falls and all the friends we'd made. Standing on the bus, looking back at the town as we left, I felt so many emotions: happiness, sadness, gratitude, and hope. Our adventure was ending, but our story would continue. I believe in magic. Not just the little magic we encountered in Gravity Falls with spells and potions and supernatural creatures, but the magic of human connection, creativity, and love. The magic of a perfect summer day, of a friendship that changes your life, of a family that would do anything for each other. That kind of magic is real, and it's everywhere if you know how to look for it. Every person I met in Gravity Falls taught me something. Even the villains. Gideon taught me about boundaries and recognizing unhealthy behavior. Bill taught me about the importance of standing up to evil, even when it seems impossible. The various creatures and townspeople showed me that everyone has a story, everyone has depth, and you can't judge people, or gnomes or unicorns, by their appearances. The bond between twins is something really special, and I don't think I fully appreciated it until that summer. Dipper and I have this connection that goes beyond just being siblings. We can almost read each other's minds sometimes. When he's anxious, I can feel it. When I'm upset, he knows exactly what to say, even if it takes him a minute to work up to it. We've been together since literally before we were born, and that kind of connection doesn't just disappear. Pig ownership is a serious responsibility, and I want everyone to know that Waddles isn't just a cute accessory to my life. I feed him, take care of him, and make sure he's happy and healthy. Sure, he's adorable and makes for great photo opportunities, but he's also a living being who depends on me. That summer taught me about commitment and caring for something beyond myself. Plus, he's an excellent listener and never judges me, which is pretty great. The paranormal investigation side of things was mostly Dipper's territory, but I got really into it too. There's something thrilling about discovering that the world is so much bigger and stranger than you ever imagined. All those things adults told us weren't real, they are real. Well, in Gravity Falls, anyway. It makes you wonder what other impossible things might be possible if you just believe and look hard enough. Crafting isn't just a hobby for me, it's a form of self-care and expression. When I'm working on a project, whether it's knitting a sweater or decorating a picture frame with googly eyes and sequins, I enter this zone where everything else fades away. It's meditative, in a way. Plus, there's something incredibly satisfying about creating something with your own hands that didn't exist before. You're literally bringing something new into the world. The age difference between me and Wendy seemed huge at first, She was a cool teenager and I was just a kid, but she never made me feel dumb or immature. She treated me like a real person whose thoughts and feelings mattered. That meant a lot to me. Having an older female friend who wasn't my mom or a teacher gave me someone to look up to and learn from in a different way. Trust is everything. That summer tested my ability to trust in so many ways. Could I trust that Dipper would always have my back? Could I trust Grunkle Stan despite his lies? Could I trust my own judgment about people and situations? Each challenge strengthened my understanding that trust has to be earned and maintained, but it's also one of the most valuable things you can give or receive. The concept of normal became really fluid for me. What's normal in Gravity Falls would be absolutely bizarre anywhere else. But what's normal in regular life, going to school, doing homework, having ordinary weekends, seemed incredibly boring after fighting gnomes and time traveling. I learned that normal is relative, and maybe it's not something to aspire to anyway. Extraordinary is way more fun. Karaoke became a huge thing for me that summer. There's something liberating about grabbing a microphone and just singing your heart out. Even if you're not the best singer in the world, it's about the joy of music and performance and not caring what people think. I performed probably dozens of times at various events and parties, and each time I felt more confident and free. The summer taught me that plans change, and that's okay. I went in with certain expectations and ideas about what would happen, and basically none of them came true. But what actually happened was so much better than anything I could have imagined. Sometimes the best experiences are the ones you never saw coming. Flexibility and openness to new experiences are super important. My personality is loud and energetic, and I know that can be overwhelming for some people, but I refuse to dim my light just to make others more comfortable. The right people will appreciate your enthusiasm and energy. The wrong people will try to make you feel like you're too much. But you're never too much for the people who truly love you. You're always exactly enough. Looking at old photos from that summer makes me emotional every single time. Each picture captures a moment that I never want to forget. The silly faces, the adventures, the quiet moments of connection. Photography is like time travel in a way. You can't go back to that exact moment, but you can remember how it felt, and that's pretty magical. The food in Gravity Falls was interesting. Grunkle Stan wasn't exactly a gourmet chef, and the local diner had some questionable menu items. But there was something nostalgic and comforting about it all. Sometimes the best meals aren't about fancy ingredients or perfect presentation. They're about who you're sharing them with and the memories you're making while eating. I learned that being silly and having fun isn't childish, it's essential. Adults who've lost their sense of playfulness seem so sad to me. Life is hard enough without taking everything seriously all the time. Dancing around the living room, making up songs, playing pretend, laughing until your stomach hurts. These things aren't just for kids, they're for anyone who wants to actually enjoy their life. The mystery and wonder of that summer will stay with me forever. Every time I look at my sweaters, my scrapbooks, or even just close my eyes and remember, I'm transported back to those magical 3 months, and I carry the lessons I learned about family, friendship, bravery, and staying true to yourself with me every single day. Gravity Falls changed my life, and I wouldn't trade that experience for anything in the entire world.